Hello, is Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today with project number 4. Gonna do some earrings today. This is the ones that we saw with the braided wire. Okay. So we've got. Let me pull the beads out here. I think we had like an array of beads we were gonna use here for this. Yeah. So we've got quite a few different beads. Now, I don't know that we'll use all the beads, but we're going to make at least one pair of earrings. See what we get. And then I had pulled this braided wire. This is 14 gauge. I'm going to dig through my stash and I'm going to see what else for braided wire that I have. But this is Artistic Craft Wire braided. So there's this guy. This is from Beadalon. I had gotten this in my one of my Beadalon grab boxes or whatever. So anywho, we'll have to take a look at that. So I had to put a sweater on. I'm freezing to death. I'm freezing cold. So we just finished up our other project, and this is the number 4, and we have 2 more to go after that. So let's get the spot rolling down to the mat. Alright guys, here we are down on the mat. So here's our design. Now when I'm looking at, let me just show you this in the photo here. So this was our design, and this was our inspiration photo for this particular situation. It looks like here they have 2 pieces of wire going. And I had not noticed when I did my design, I only put 1. So we actually need to do 2. And it looks like from this picture, these are not actually wrapping around. They are just S's, is what it looks like to me. So, okay, not a problem. We're going to give her a whirl. See how it goes. For beads, we're kind of just using, I mean, you could really use any beads for this situation. But we had a couple of options here and a couple of charms. So we thought, oh, maybe we'll try some with some charms. Maybe we'll try some with just beads. Who knows what we're doing with our life. How we might feel this day in this scenario. So, let me just get these all ready to go. And again, like I said, if we don't use all these, that's fine. They will just go into the color blocking necklace project. It's kind of nice to have an idea for that last project when working with the box. If you're like me and you want to use all the beads, right? So somebody asked me once, they're like, Randy, how do you store your bargain bead boxes? And I'm like, I don't. I don't, because I use all the beads, right? So I don't have that really situation. If there is any excess beads, I have a little tub that just says extra bargain bead box, but really we pretty much use all the beads all the time. So it's nice to have that project kind of planned in, just for you guys as a note, like maybe that's something you want to throw in at the end, kind of like a catch-all project, but again, up to you. We have these charms here, the sunflowers, and these, the little wreaths. Okay. So, first, before I start adding charms, I think, I'm going to just try the regular earring. Okay. I think there was some, yeah, I got to grab these up out of here. There was some little gold spacers. Okay. Remember to put those back. Okay. So, we got a few gold spacers. You can always, right, you always need metal. And then I think I said I might even grab up my gold. Oh, I took it upstairs. Did I? Let me look. I think I took that upstairs. I mean, okay. Yeah, I did. I took it upstairs. I had a gold, like, bead soup kind of situation, but I did find these little gold beads, so maybe we'll use those. You always need metal when you're making earrings. That's my theory. Okay, So so first I'm going to try doing this on 3-inch head pin. So I've got a gold 3-inch head pin, or 75 millimeters. I should probably have 2, I guess. So I'm going to first try that. I am going to be using this braided wire. Now, this braided wire is 14 gauge. That's why I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work for me, but we're about to find out. I know that much. So I also grabbed up some 20 gauge wire as well. These are all from Beadalon. This one I got in a mystery box. This one I got in Arizona. So I got both just in case we need. So before we do any of that, let me just put this, see how I want to go with my pattern here. I think I just maybe will do, so these aren't going to have anything hanging on them. So I think I might just go 2 crystals here, then this one on the top. Okay, let's try that. Let's try this as our, to start with, okay? So try that to start with. Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to put those on there. I'm not going to wear them up because I feel like what we need to do is we need to take this braided wire, which is, oh, it's quite something. Let's just take it off of there. And I'm going to get a couple of pieces of wire. Where's my ruler? So now I'm going to do 2 and a half. 2 and a half. I'm going to do 2.5 inches. Of this wire. And then I'm going to do a shorter piece. And I guess that wouldn't have to be in this. It could be, but it wouldn't have to be. So that might make it pretty bulky. Let's switch to the 20 gauge. Because that, I doubt the wire that I use in this magazine, I could look, but I doubt it's 14 gauge. It's probably something way smaller. Where is the end of this? Unravel. Okay, so if that's 2.5, let's do this one. Let me see what we got here. Let's do this one 2. Let's do 2 and 2.25. Okay, I'll do these two the same size. If you hear any commotion going on, don't worry, that's just Jeff snoring. I can hear him from here. Okay, so we've got 20 gauge over here, 2.25. We've got 14 gauge over here, braided, 2.5, right? All right, let's give this a whirl. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my loop, I think. I've never worked with this before, so I don't know how the loop situation is going to go. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little rough. Okay. And then I got to create, at the very least, a hook on this side, right? Okay, so what I need to do, because this is going to go here, and this guy is going to wrap around. So let me put these on. Right? That's how I foresee it going. Okay, so I kind of got to do like a, I got to bend this up. Like this. And then I almost got to do like an S shape. So like that. And then, whoop. Yeah. Okay. And then like this, bring it back around. Kind of situation. Let me get that hook ready to go. Okay. So here's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like this wire, it's doable. It's doable. Okay, but I am feeling like, I can get it to focus here. So I'm not done, but I am feeling like, okay, so this isn't looking exactly like what they had, but it's because this gauge of wire is so thick. It's 14 gauge, but this is what I have and I want to use it because I've been waiting for a chance to use it. So I could go cut another longer wire, which would be fine. I'm not going to because I think this is going to be fine. We're also going to go in with the 20 gauge wire. Now, I might cut another different piece of the 20 gauge to give it more of that, like, you know, swoopy situation. But for this right here, I think that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to close it up yet because I am also going to have to put on this 20 gauge wire, right? So I'm probably going to put that here. Or I could go here with the 20, maybe I'll go here with the 20 gauge and then up to the top. So let me get a little larger piece. So sorry, I know we said we were going to do, so this one was 2.5. So with this one, I think I'm going to do 3. And you know, I'll be honest with you, ever since we started doing those missing link projects, I do not feel as intimidated doing this type of work because we have done so many links with wire and stuff in the missing link playlist. Now, if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend because I just feel like it's kind of a confidence booster. It has been for me. I've learned a lot of things as far as like not how to keep my wire together, but I have learned a lot of things about just different kind of techniques on ways to put things together, and just all the practice has really been helpful, honestly. Even if you're not into the like links, but it gives you like how to make spirals and how to, like incorporate these different elements into your jewelry making. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't watched Thunderhorse Descendant's missing link series, maybe give that a look-see. I'll put it in the cards here and see if maybe that's helpful. Okay, so now we got our 3-inch wire, which is this guy. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did. So I'm going to start by doing a loop here. I'm just going to go until it touches the wire. And then I'm going to bend it up like so. And then I'm going to, let's see, which way do I want to go? This way. So I'm going to go this way with my curve first. Okay. So do the same thing and put a hook on the end, not a loop, but a hook. Just so I can grab it up. Because I'm going to have to take this off. And I'm going to have to go here first. I feel like I should keep this on there. Okay, and then this on there. And then this guy. And then this guy. So we're almost putting those like they're spacers for the time being until we get this rest of this built up, which it feels a little uncomfortable, but hey, you know. Oh, well, it feels uncomfortable because I'm doing it wrong. Hold on. There we go. It does feel a little uncomfortable just because I'm not used to it, this situation. But I'm sure once I get this one together and I figure it out, then the second one will go pretty fast. Okay, and then this guy goes on here. I know you go on there. There we go. So now that I have this on there, I am going to go ahead and tighten this down. Close that loop up. Okay. Now we have this one. So this one only really has the two bends in it. And it kind of needs to go up a little. Okay, so I'm just maneuvering the wire. And then I'm going to hook it on. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about the fact that they're loose right now because I can maneuver these after I get everything tied down. And in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this loop is able to lay flat. Make sure it's closed up good. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on another one of these little spacers on the top. And I'm going to wire wrap this. Now when I wire wrap it, I'm going to have to like push it down. You know what I mean? So let me do that. Because if I don't, see, we've got quite a lot of space there. Okay. So I've got this extra long tail and I'm going to try to utilize that to my advantage by tucking it in. As I'm doing that, it's pressing everything down and putting more tension on the business on the bottom there. So far, we are doing pretty good. and she's in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you see how these are kind of sticking out almost like a zigzag? I'm going to push them kind of around so that they don't stick out so much, kind of like make it more rounded. And in doing so, I'm hoping that I'll kind of get everything into place as well and make it a little more the way I want. It's looking pretty good. Now, I'll be honest with you, this could have been a little tighter. Let's see what we can do about that. Anything? Without having to rework the whole business. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I love it. I love it. Is it exactly? No. I would like it a little better if this had a little more tension on it. Now, I have already wire wrapped this and I don't really want to remake the whole thing. So we're gonna try something. We're gonna try it, because, you know, if it don't work, it don't work, but then we'll know. I'm gonna take one of these little teeny tiny, I don't know what these are, 3mm bead cover. I'm gonna load that up in there, and I'm gonna go between the wire wrap loops and the spacer, hopefully. If I can get it in there. Just don't know if there's enough space for it. Oh, crunched it shut. There. Okay, so there's not enough space for it. I'm going to have to re-wrap it. Okay. It's just one of those things, but now we know. Okay, so let me go ahead and cut this off. I'll rewrap it onto this other ball head pin. I'm just going to literally pull the ball head pin out. And so this is kind of the pieces that we got. It's very interesting. I had never thought of this before. Okay, so that's fine. Now you guys can get the real deal. What are we actually supposed to be doing here? Uh-oh, I'm knocking stuff off my mat. Okay, so we start on the ball head pin with the spacer. Then we put the gold wire. Then this bead. Then the 14 gauge wire. Then the crystal. Then the spacer. Then the crystal. Then this bead. Okay, now we put on this top portion, and hopefully, now that I've closed them all up, we can just slide them in there. Yeah, and once I get this one arranged the way it's supposed to be on there, okay, now I should be able to slide this one. Yep, slide it in just as though it's a bead. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Then this guy to top it off. So what happened last time is that I didn't have these completely squished in the way I wanted before I tried to wire wrap it. So there was like, it was pushing up You know what I mean? So now I want to make sure that everything is pushed down before I wrap. And everything looks pretty good. This guy's got a little bit of a gap here. Go. Now I should be able to wrap it. And I'm going to wrap it tight as I can. So I'm not going to give too much space up here. I'm just going to go ahead and bend and wrap. Spin it. I want to make sure that I don't wrap under this little star spacer. So I would have liked to have gone around a little more before I had to, start tightening, but it's not an option before I got wonked up in my star spacer. So. Yeah. Okay, so I want to show you this. You can see right here. Come on, camera. This is this is what happens when you have too long of a tail. I was hoping I could force it in underneath. You see this right here? How the tail is coming up over the top of the wraps. That's not good for anybody. So I am going to trim it. I wish I didn't have to, but I'm gonna, because I don't need that being wonky wonk up here on the top, and I'm going to just tuck it in. Okay, then I'm just going to straighten this all out, make sure everything's tight. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to tighten up where I have connected these wires by pushing them in, not changing the shape, just making sure that they're tight so it's not moving and it's not giving very much give, so that's good. Well, there we go. Okay, one down. I actually quite enjoy this. Let's get our earring wires out. Now, as someone who has never made these before, of course, it could use a little work, you know how that goes. But I'm not mad at it. Tell you that much for free. Oval here. It's hanging in the front. Spin it a little bit here. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Now it's hanging in the front. So I'm going to make the other side of this. I'm going to make the other side, and then I'm going to show you how I would have normally done something. Push the sides in, you know, how we did the other one. So now it's looking a little more rounded. Now it's going to move around until we tighten it with the pliers, so I'm not worried about that. I'm trying to maneuver it so they sit in nice together, you know, like this one. Probably could have had a little more S shape to it. There we go. Oh, I'm not really in love with this, but this is what we got. It's kind of the same on the other side. A little more drastic on this side. Okay. There we go. Alright, now wire wrap it up. Never fails. Something always gets me. Okay. Make sure this is pushed in. And now we can go ahead and tighten the loops up around this base wire. And I'm literally just squeezing a little bit on this braided one just to tighten it, because then it's not going to move, right, as much. Like this one's really not going anywhere. This one's actually a little bit looser than this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this a little more. Okay. And that's it. I'm not mad at it. I'm quite happy with it, honestly. Oh. Hi, Bixby. My phone on Do Not Disturb.
I turned on Do Not Disturb.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Okay, so we want this to be in the front. Okay. So this is what we end up with. Is this one? I can never really tell until I get these on the cards. Okay. Is this one larger? This one seems a lot larger. What's the deal here? I'm like, did I forget a bead? No. There's more of a gap here. I can tell I didn't. So here's something we learned. I will probably just keep these for myself because nobody's going to see that. But you can see here how there is a lot of extra space because when I put this on, I didn't bend it. Let me show you. So what I should have done is I should have made the loop, right? Bring it all the way around. So this is what you have, okay? Sad Lollipop. So you grab Sad Lollipop's head, okay? And then you take this wire, which is, if you're looking like this, is pointing straight out. It needs to be pointing up at the camera, up at the sky. So then when it sits in there and you go to thread it through, it sits flat. You see? I did not do that. That's what I should have done. And you can tell because this one I did that to make sure that it was, see, look how nice this one looks? Because I did this, and this one I did not. And in the essence of doing that, I have a lot of extra space, which makes the earring longer. So that's something that we learned. But I'm gonna wear these bad boys. I'll tell you what. We'll make another pair. I'll make some more pairs. You know, it'll be fine. Okay, so there's something that we learned. But I will say, I really do like these. I like them a lot. Now, let me show you what I was saying I would have done had we not done it that way. Because, well, now I know that way, and it seems like, okay, like it's going to be a good way to use this braided wire. When I get products, I like to use them because, you know, I don't like things just like sitting around in the studio, like just not doing anything. I don't know what to do with it. I always, if I get something and don't know what to do with it, I'm like, oh, let me find something to do with that, you know? Sorry, I had to have a little loop, zip on my coffee. So before we move on, let me just show you. So this was the design. We were going to use the flower ones. We haven't quite got to that yet. These are just the regular ones. So there's the earrings. And then here is the inspirational photo. Let's see, where is it? Where'd you go? There we go. See, now in their photo, they had 2 of this wire, but I'm guessing this is not 14 gauge. Let me just read on the side. No. 20 gauge. 20 gauge. Both of them are 20 gauge. Not, so this is a 20 gauge. So not 14 gauge. So, you know, but, I think if we would have had 2 of these twisted in this big 14 gauge, it would have been too much. That's why I went with the little guy. I actually quite like that. You can see here how they were doing their thing. Basically just making like an S shape. These ones are just plain wire, same situation. Mine are more pressed in. These look, you know, a little more like an actual S shape. But, I don't know. As an inspiration, I think it's quite good, to be honest with you. So there we go. I just wanted to follow up that video because I might do some other stuff here. I'm going to tinker around with a few other earrings. And I just want to make sure you guys got what you came for. Okay, so let me show you. I'll make the same type of earring with the 2 crystals, and the 2 fossilized coral. 2 fossilized coral. Okay. Okay, so what I probably would have done is I would have taken some 20 gauge wire. I mean, let's be honest, I would have done it in 22, but whatever. This is just like a big old mess. It's always like this, which is why I don't really like to use it so much, but okay. Because I don't know why it does this. Just ignore this. I mean, it goes back the way it's supposed to, but it's just so big. Okay, so what I would have done is I would have created my own ball head pin, probably. I'm going to wrap that around a couple times, about 3 times. Bring it straight out. Now this is 20 gauge, so it's going to be a little rough. Here we go. Bring it through there. Get my plier out. Got a loop on the end. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that because I'm going to utilize that to put my sunflower on. Okay, so same setup. 1, 2, crystal. Oh, I probably shouldn't put all this on if I'm going to put on the sunflower because that'll be really big. Okay. So I'll just do these 2 beads like that because I'm going to put on the sunflower. Okay. So I have like an extensive amount of wire here. I don't know why, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap this. 1, 2. And then probably what I would have done, so I would just warm this wire up like this, and then I would have went around, just like that, which given is not the same effect, but still pretty good out of 10. Then you can go back up the other way for that double situation, and all the way up to the loop. Make it look nice. So this is not the same, but it is still cute. And we're going to put the sunflower on it, right here. Now, if you prefer the crystal at the bottom and the other part at the top, just flip it. Let's see. Do we like that better? You know, I kind of do like that better. Alright, put the crystal at the bottom. No problem. And then we need an earring wire. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, it's not the same. But that's probably if somebody was like, oh, wire wrap this and put a lot of wire on it and whatever, this is probably what I would have done. Both are good. I'm going to do this other one up real quick with the sunflower. So, I guess you're getting a 2-for-1-zy here. That one's flush. That one went in really easily. It's fine. It'll be fine. Okay, then what do I got on here? I got the spacer and this guy and this guy. Is there spacer on the top? Yes, spacer on the top. Okay, and then we got 1, 2, go back up the other side. Oop. Okay, let's make sure all this is tight. So I did that the same way I did the other one, and then just flipped it over once it was done, because then they're the same. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to make one way and one upside down. Oh, my battery's dying again. Silly batteries. What are you doing? Oh, I gotta turn this. That was the bat phone upstairs. Alrighty, so there we go. I'll be honest with you, I enjoy both. Both are good. Both are very good. So we have these, and we have these. I think I might wear these to my show tomorrow. One's way longer than the other, but again, that's something that we found out. So there you go, you guys. I could also do this with the little wreaths if I wanted to, or just wire wrap them up some kind of way. I do have a few extra beads here, so maybe I will do that. But I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a comment. That is very helpful. Helpful to me online. And don't forget to leave a like. I hope you're all having a lovely, spectacular, amazing beading day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.